I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. We are here, and we're going to have a great interview. We got one of the best innovators on Pulse Chain in the house. We got Kairos, the dev and founder for EMIT Farms and a few other farms as well, I might add. So we're going to interview Kairos. I know you guys are going to look forward to that. Of course, EMIT Farm has been super successful. Had some amazing collaborations and offers some really great high APR pools. So we're going to deep dive into all that, and maybe a few little, maybe we might get a few little alpha drops later on as well if we can squeeze them out. We'll see what we can do, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Great to see Frank White in the house there. Bang bang, early gang. Good to see you, Frank White. And we got Peter White as well. What's up, y'all? Hey, good to see you, Peter, and welcome to the chat. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button on the way in. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels, so Superman Crypto, Pulse Chain X, and the Crypto Night Show. So definitely smash the subscribe button on there. If you're also on X, don't forget to hit the follow button at the top. Really helps a lot. And just get into the socials, the Discord, the Telegram, and get involved. And we're going to post EMIT Farm links as well later on during the show, so you'll be able to join up to EMIT Farm and maybe capture some of those juicy APRs and get into the community as well. They have airdrops in the Telegram group on EMIT Farm, so it's a pretty popular thing. So especially during the bear market, pretty neat. We got Manitoke in the house there. Evening, everybody. Good to see you, Manitoke. Welcome to the chat as well. EMIT and Impulse there from Peter. Nice. We like that. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. And don't forget to repost the show out. Get it out there amongst the friends in the old Pulse Chain community. Also, if you're in a team on Pulse Chain, maybe hit up Kairos after the show and see whether you can get yourself maybe in the EMIT Farm pools or something like that. So there's lots of opportunities for everybody. And so we're going to have a fun time learning everything about EMIT. So without further ado, let's catch up with Kairos now. Hey, Kairos, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me up.
It's been great to get you on the show. You've definitely been impressing the community, and you've been working hard. You've been innovating, getting everything out there. Maybe just tell, for those that aren't so familiar with you, a little bit about yourself and why you're on Pulse Chain and doing stuff, really frontier stuff on the farming side of things.
Yeah, definitely. So the EMIT farms came about after I had done multiple yield farms before it, and I had played with reflection tokens. And it came to me when I was coming up with this yield farm idea was a way that I could basically solve the problem with a typical yield farm where it constantly just inflates and then eventually the price goes down.
Yeah.
And basically what I did with the EMIT is I merged the token so it has a tax on it of 5% with inflation, so that the 5% goes to single-sided stakers who are single-sided staking EMIT. So that kind of fixed the problem, is where you usually you're getting a bunch of this reward token, you're single-sided staking it, you're earning more of it, and eventually the only thing left to do is to dump it. So with EMIT, you can single-sided stake and you earn 5% of everything. That's all the market volume, add in removing liquidity. When you're single-sided staking, it's almost like you earn a share. It's a share of the protocol, essentially. And that little change has worked really well. We launched about a year ago. I guess it's almost been a year, maybe 10 months. And it's done really well, and the community's been great. The APRs are still good. So that's solid, but it's more than it's farming is the main thing, and single sided and earning the stables, which are awesome for passive. But it's got a lot more to it too. There's also a DAO, so people can voice their opinion. on farms or different things that I'm thinking. I'll put a proposal in, and people can go in and say, "Oh, I agree with that," or "I don't agree with that." Uh, we also have NFT, the emitters NFT, and the emitters NFT is like a key to the DAO, and it also gives you fee-free farming on any of the farms that have fees. Um, there's the
Yeah,
council.
so those NFTs must be almost sold out. They must be getting pretty close.
Yeah, it's getting there. I think we're at like 480 right now out of
Yeah,
555. So
yeah, that's great. It's getting there. Yeah, within a year. Yeah, and then they offer some utility as well, don't they?
Yes, it acts as like a membership card or as a
Right.
key to the DAO. So to be able to use your EMIT to vote, and when you're voting with your EMIT, you single-sided stake, and that mints your voting power. So that's kind of how the DAO voting works. Your single-sided position is also the amount of sway that you have in the DAO.
Yeah. Okay.
So the NFT acts as a key, and then the NFT also gives you fee-free farming. But also, I just thought it was cool to have an NFT where people can set their profile pictures, and you might be in another community and you see someone else with an emitters NFT, and you know that they're getting triple-digit APRs over there. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the
Okay.
community
Cool.
building.
So the other thing you mentioned a bit earlier, just briefly, was the inflation side of EMIT, which I think you've done pretty clever as well. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things was basically not printing hard. And it's interesting because if you look at it now, you'll see we have some pools with like 150% APR. But in the grand scheme of things, we're making 750 EMIT per day,
Mm,
which is only 270K a year. So in 2 years, we're going to be getting close to a million tokens.
mm,
Uh, so yeah, even with the APRs right now, it's just at such an early stage. I almost consider this high APR period that we're going through right now a kind of distribution, and these say we're at 220 right now to 500K. That's all going to farmers. There's
mm.
no bots getting that. It's all real, real people that are farming, which makes for a strong asset essentially, because that's one of the things you fight is you launch on, if you're launching with bots and people that aren't invested in the protocol, then they're going to use it just to extract the best they can. Which if everyone does that, you get the down into the right chart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since all these tokens that have come out since the start have been going to these people that are farming, it's all in real people's hands, and most of them all are of like mind. They're trying to grow the protocol, so it makes for a really strong holders and a good community, a strong community. Just the way that it's kind of grown. So yeah, and that's my take on the emissions. Just keeping them fairly low, but you want the good APRs. My target is 100% single-sided APR and 100% farming APR is where I'd like to keep them and where I see them being somewhat sustainable.
Yeah. And so the farm's almost a year old, and you've managed to do that, which I think is pretty good. So design's working pretty well. I'm sure there must be some other players out there that have probably copied a few of your features because they're working pretty well. Um, Now, you've also done a lot of collabs, like a lot, like with a lot of the leading teams. How's that process gone? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was one of the biggest things when I started building on Pulse right at the beginning of Pulse, and it was one of the things that I realized right off the bat. I was like, no one's working together. Is
Mm,
in fact, it was hard to get any collaborations. And when I started EMIT, aside from the mechanics and changing, the protocol design itself, my two big things were branding. It's got to be a short name. It's easy to remember. That can easily be the top brand for yield farming on Pulse Chain. And number two was the marketing, which is just got to, you need solid content strategies and to keep the entity alive. Um,
So that's two really important things, and I think some other teams can learn off you off both those things. So collabs have been really important to Emmett Farms.
oh, that's what it was. I was like, well, what was I thinking of? And it was
Yeah,
collaborations. That was that was the
collabs.
second
Yeah.
thing.
So you can just elaborate on that because I want to draw those two things out because they're really important. Yeah.
Mm. And it's gotten better, really. Like I think people see the strength in bonding together rather than just completely keeping everything separate. So that strategy has worked really
You,
well. And
you've kind of done the opposite of what other teams. It's not some other teams have done, because some of the things I always complain about is that teams don't collaborate. They almost think of other teams as just the enemies or competitors or something, which is just the wrong way to look at it all. In fact, it's the opposite of creating value, I think. And the secondly is that they don't want to do any marketing or anything like that. They just think it should all just magically drop, just magically happen. Why can't they be as successful as that team? Why can't they be as good as that? And actually, you've done both. You realize actually collaborations is great. Doing marketing is great, and it's all worked out pretty well. And Emmett Farm arguably is the leading farm, I would say, on Pulse Chain. So yeah, it's working pretty well there.
Well, and it's interesting as far as the collaborations and working against each other. That's one of the good things about crypto is that we can work together. Because
Yeah.
if you collaborate with a team and you buy their token, you own a share of their success if they do well. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it makes more sense to me to be invested in each other, and then everyone's winning that way. Because if say your competitor does better, but you thought you collaborated and you own a share of that token, like that's still a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Um, and
I
I
think some
think the
people.
collaborations have come a long way.
It has come a long way, and you've definitely been one of the key critical players that has helped collaboration move forward on Pulse Chain. And I guess a lot of people just think, oh, there's this token cryptos are going to buy and sell cryptos, but actually there's teams like yours that are sitting having meetings, right? You actually, when you're collaborating, you're actually sitting down having meetings with other teams, talking about design and timelines and how you're going to execute things and things like
Yeah,
that. So
I kind of leave it up to them. You know what I mean? As far as like, it'd be nice if everyone that I collaborated with, we could do the whole. We'd have media,
yeah,
graphics, mutual collaborations posts. That's how I do every one. But
yeah,
sometimes you don't get all that, and you get a good little collaboration, and you take what you can get. But yeah, it'd be better to have the whole have
mm,
a whole process for everyone, because you want basically if you have a collaboration, you want that to be like a week long thing. You announce it, the actual farm, and these posts are all content from both sides.
hmm
And yeah, that's how I would do each one if it was up to me. But all of them are a little different.
Yeah, so collaboration's a big deal, but you don't just do collaborations within Emmet farms. You've actually launched a couple of other type of farms as well on other chains. Is that right? So I think Sonic, at least working with other teams to do that. Yeah,
Yes. Yep. We did. I did. It's an Emmet fork on Sonic. We did, which was like for meme tokens, and that was
mm,
just like a couple of Pulse OGs. That it was in the middle of the bear too when Pulse was going on, and they're like, "Can
yeah,
we
yeah,
make one together?" And we did, and that one's done all right. But yeah, I've done a lot. I've done a few different kinds of yield farming. Like actually, when I came up with EMIT, it was because of like multiple other experiments that I'd done, and one of them was with like a reflection token, and it wasn't quite to where I had it where I had ended up putting it in the single-sided pool, but it was close. It was
hmm
like you had to stake to receive a share of it. And yeah, basically those little experiments evolved, and that is kind of what led to EMIT, where I was like, oh, I'm just going to mix the reflection tokens with the yield farming. And
hmm
it makes the system reflexive is what it is. So as the price goes up and down, those reflections are worth whatever our current price is. So the system works exactly the same, whether it's a million market cap or 250 market cap. Um, obviously we all like it when prices going up, but it's
yeah,
interesting that it can scale or descale with demand.
yeah. Now, in terms of some of the collaborations in the past, you've obviously got a lot of farms in there. You've also worked with some pretty big KOLs like Crypto Paradise, in the on the old Pulse chain as well, and that's done I think pretty well back in the early days. Probably I don't know how many months was that, 6 months ago, something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, 6 months, yeah. And recently you've been working with True DeFi. So some of these bigger, now they're not really KOLs. They're kind of looking to be a big DeFi player on Pulse Chain. How's that been going? That sort of collabs.
Those have been great. I'd say that those were some of my best ones.
Yeah,
As far as collaborating with teams that have good founders, benevolent teams. That's those are. It's better if you can partner with these good projects because it's more likely that that's going to be a strong asset that we're pairing with too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I've definitely been lucky in that the teams that I've worked with have been great to work with. Nothing but good
Yeah,
stuff to
and
say.
they have, right. They've had a great attitude towards growth. They want to grow. They want to succeed. They want to work with others. It's been pretty good there. Yeah. Now talking about that, True DeFi just launched their farm, True Farms, and you would have helped with that, right? So you're definitely helping other teams. You go that extra mile as well.
Yep. That's a fork of EMIT. Yeah, and I've been working with them. I helped with the launch, and that's kind of how I've worked with a couple teams, and usually how it works is, I'm pretty in depth in as far as I'm doing the deployment usually and advising on the tokenomics, and I pretty much cherry pick who I'm gonna do a fork for if I'm doing it because you know what I mean. You don't want to do a fork for someone that is gonna wreck the project or anything.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the few that I've done. Uh, I kind of have been like, oh, okay, this is a good team. This will work out well. And then also have some control over the project. And that's worked out really well. That was just one of the things that I worried about. I was like, oh, what if I do a fork for someone and they just dump it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and it's the same. It's the true around DeFi. I mean, DeFi is only as well. It's based. They're not fully immutable and run themselves. They are based on people. Ultimately, 99% of the time. So you have to make good judgment calls. You're absolutely right. We got Frank Whitehouse. He's a PLS start. Loves EMIT. So nice one there, Frank. Now PLS start, of course, is a pulse chain ecosystem map. So and EMIT's definitely on there. So nice.
Hey, what's
Um,
that?
We
Sorry.
got Hexagrader in the house as well. Good to see Hexagrader. So just coming back to marketing, I see you're wearing a kind of a cool Emmett shirt there, sweater. Just a little look on that. Yeah, Emmett on Pulse
Yeah,
Chain.
the newest design. It's up. We got it up on the Pulsican store. It came out really good. I was
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
impressed with the because you know how sometimes you get like the sweatshirts and it's almost got the stuff like printed on top of it more than in it.
yeah.
These weren't like these are like perfect. It's actually meshed in. It's good quality.
Nice,
I was pretty
nice.
happy with this
So
one.
if you guys after some Emmett merch, you can jump over to Pulsican store, which is I think generally pretty well known. Hunt down that. Now, if you are, we've been talking about collabs. If you are a team out there, definitely hit up Kairos if you want to get yourself involved, and you can have a chat with Kairos about that. And obviously, he's gone the next level as well, helping others launch farms too. So you're definitely in the right place there if you want some help and assistance. Now, the other thing is, Emmett has been um, uh, pretty aggressive, I would say, with the community in your Telegram. You really have focused on, unlike like more than anybody else, you have done airdrops constantly, and a lot of partner airdrops. You've done just a lot of communication in Telegram. How's that experience gone since you really are the leader in that space?
It's going well. That was one of the things when I was and how the airdrop bot kind of came about when I first was launching EMIT. We actually airdropped 10% of the supply to like the people that were active in the community before the launch. So that was kind of how that idea for the bot came about.
Yeah,
But it's evolved and we eventually added the promotion system, and basically what I landed with now is a very true list of people that have been active in the community since the start based on these promotions that I've given everyone. And we've had a pretty good number of airdrops. I think I know with PLSS we had airdropped like $2,000 worth. That's the
wow,
Pulsican store
yeah,
token, and I would estimate like altogether at least probably 5 to 6 grand just given to the community. True DeFi just has sent out like 2,000 just in the past week or so, or
wow,
in a couple weeks. So yeah, I
yeah.
think it's added up, and a bunch of other communities too. I know PLSB, Pulse Bitcoin. Um, we've quite a few of the partners have airdropped some tokens out. So yeah, I think that's a good way to reward the community, and it's one of those things. It's each time it might only be 20, 25 cents, but then you look back after 6 months and you're like, oh, it's a couple hundred
Yeah, I
bucks
mean,
now.
if you just sat in there over the last year, it would have added up quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's worked pretty well. That's
Yeah.
and yeah, and basically it was just a way to promote activity, keep the Twitter and people active, and just reward the community, because really at the end of the day, that's what's that's the word of mouth right there, is people
Hmm.
that enjoy the project and want to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just trying to make that experience pretty much the best I could.
Okay, great. You also, one of the things that you did when you started, you had a kind of Telegram referrals, like you were using the link in the Telegram to invite people. Are you still doing that sort of stuff?
Ah, oh, actually, but that's interesting, because when we started, I was using it was someone else's bot that had the referrals. So I
Right.
was watching the little leaderboard thing, and then I was adding people's promotions. But
Hmm.
actually, since then, I'd say a couple months ago, I added a in-bot referral system, so people can just do /get link,
Hmm.
and it'll give them their own referral link, and then they can use that to invite people. But I haven't run an event in a bit. That's a good idea though, because I built that and we hadn't really pushed it a lot. But yeah, run an event around it, or rewarding people for being on the leaderboard. Uh,
Yeah, that'd be cool to see that too. I mean, because you built up a great community, so it'd be good to see that in action now. And it was pretty popular too, pretty popular thing. Um, and that's the other thing. I mean, that you sort of just raised is that you've also been doing bots, right? You've actually developed some pretty key bots around that. I think community bots, trading bot type things. You've done a bit,
um,
haven't you?
Yeah, I pretty much did. Well, it's usually, if it's something that I'm doing each day, I probably end up with a bot at the end of the day with it.
Mm.
But yeah, one of the main things was volume bot, which basically was just a way that I could turn up the volume on the market. So that was one that I put together. The airdrop bot, that's the big community one.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I'm always whatever I got to do more than twice. I probably have a
Yeah,
bot
yeah.
for it.
That's also. I mean, it's all helped, isn't it? We've got a few people in the house there. We've got Hexagrator, we've got Only Crypto, Crypto MBS from the Monster Thread, and promotional lead for the Crypto Night shows in the house. We've also got Hexavator there shouting out Kairos, a nice one there. Get in the chat there, folks, if you guys got comments to make, get them in. So that's kind of the overview, I think, of some of the stuff, but let's deep dive into some of the APRs and some of the actual collabs that you got on the websites. And also, we'll have a look, check out the EMIT chart at the moment and the socials. So I think we'll get into that. If you guys have got any questions for Kairos, do get them in on the chat there, and we'll look to answer those later on, I'm sure. So without further ado, let's deep dive a bit closer here. Now, I always like to start off with the socials. So if you guys want to join up to EMIT Farm, definitely do that. I'm going to post it out here now and kick it on. This is on X. So you can follow at Emmett Farm there and join up today. And also, if you get into on X and you're following X, definitely join the Telegram group at the top, and that way you'll get access to the bots and airdrops and just all the community awesomeness that goes on in the Emmett Farm. All right, so that's X and Telegram. You can see pinned at the top there. And you guys are pretty much updating all the time, right, on the X account? It's pretty regular.
Yeah, I have a content strategy, which usually I do, one general style post, or a post that includes the farms, current APRs. That one's like an event. I'll usually do one of them,
Mm-hmm.
maybe once every 2 weeks or so, and give people a chance to win some EMIT.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty cool. You got some winner names there. So, DeFi Royal Lounge one. I know that one. Yeah. You got all the peers with some of the APRs on there. Kind of cool. So it's pretty good. You guys are became pretty active at the old Emmett Farm there. And you can go to the farm, right? You can just click on the link there, Emmett Farm, and that will take you to Emmett Farm website. So let's break this down in a bit more detail here, Cara. So where do you want to start?
let's go ahead and go to the farm page. Check that out.
Okay.
And you can see it's got the current stats up at the top of it, so that's a good place to see where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can see the total supply it's still under 240,000. So at
Yeah.
that current, and you'll see what I mean by the APRs are up a bit, but it's really not a lot of tokens being created still. It's just kind of the ratio of the price with the TVL. Because at 750, that's going to be 270,000 a year. So basically doubling our supply, but over a course of a year, and then still only being at that's 450,000. So still a good ways under a million tokens will still be this time next year.
Yeah. Okay. So total supply is 239,000 tokens, and the current price of the token is $1.16 for EMIT. So emissions are probably around about $850 or something a day.
Yeah,
US.
right around that area.
Now you got a burn total here, 55,000 have been burned so far, and you've got the market cap at 278,000 for EMIT right now. So those are kind of the overview numbers.
And then I guess I can just go over a little strategy as far as I always give everyone the same strategy if they ask me how they would if I was new, how would I enter?
Yeah.
So if I was new and I wanted to enter and I wanted to farm in what I would say would be the most protocol aligned way, you'd have to get your EMIT. So, you buy your EMIT and that's what you're going to use for your position. I would take half my EMIT and I would pair it with WPLS and put it in that primary farm right there, because that's the most heavy allocated farm. And I would take the other half of whatever I had and I would put it in the single sided. Then you'd be receiving EMIT from the farm. You can take that EMIT from the farm and put it into the single sided position with no fees. And then you're steadily growing. You're steadily growing the stable rewards.
So you might buy a bunch of EMIT, and then you could match it with Pulse, for example, get 150% APR with 50% of your EMIT, and then the other 50% you put it in the single side staking and earn EDI, right? So that's kind of
and that would be that strategy would encompass everything as far as the farming and the single sided. And obviously everyone has a different, some people will go, oh, well, I'm going to find some assets that I like in the available farms, or some that maybe you already have just handy to get started. And that's fine too. I always just recommend that EMIT/PLS for a good size position, because that's always going to be the most heavily allocated one. It's like 20% of the supply right now.
Right.
And 20% of the emissions.
I see you got a bit of a APR calculator. So APR, annual percentage return, is what it means. And you've got a calculator there that gives you an idea of what you can earn at the current rate.
Yes. And when you have some staked, it gives you that, and it also tells you how much that'll be as far as the projection.
Right.
So that becomes available too.
So you also got that calculator here over on the actual pools. So you got the single side staking here on the top left that you earn EDI. So it's a stable coin you're earning. So, and then you've got all the other pools that are on EMIT Farm that earn EMIT, right?
Yes, correct. And and basically on the farms, when you claim, there's no fee, and single-sided staking, you can stake it with no fee. So that's one way that you can because there's a 5% fee on almost everything. That's why I point that out. But that one little route is fee free. So it gives you something, because it's you wouldn't want to claim your rewards and automatically be losing 5% off the bat.
So the EMIT Pulse, for example, has got 0% fee. So that's 0% entering, right?
Correct.
Now, the thing about this is that you're not just putting your tokens directly into here, right? There is a process. You're actually putting what they call LB tokens, right, into this farm.
Yes,
so
and
explain that a little bit for those that are a little bit less familiar with farming.
Yeah, so if you haven't done the V2 LPs is what it's called. Basically, if you were going into the EMIT/PLS, you'd click on that manage liquidity link.
Yeah.
And it would take you there, and it would open up and basically, if you put $100 in EMIT value wise, you would need to put $100 value wise in PLS.
False, yeah.
And then once you pair those, it gives you a receipt token which says, hey, he has $100 in, $200 total in this LP, and that receipt token is what goes into the farm.
Right.
So it shows up as a balance after you create it. It sounds like, if it's your first time hearing it, you'd be like, wow, this is confusing. But you do it once or twice and you'd be like, oh, it's one of those things you can pick it up quick once you play around.
Simply put, you have to put some tokens actually in the decentralized exchange, in this case PulseX on is the big number one exchange on Pulse Chain. You have to put in equal amount of tokens because it's the way the V2 technology works. And then you will get LP tokens put into your wallet after you provided those tokens. And then those LP tokens is what you actually put in the farm to earn the yield, the secondary yield. Yeah.
And if you click on that little lightning bolt, it's in the input box.
Oh, this one here, yeah.
Yeah, if you click on that, it'll do it for you. You just put
Okay.
PLS in. So
Right,
if you just put PLS in there, it'll create your position and it'll stake it, and you'll be earning rewards immediately.
Zap and stake.
Yeah, and then when you do want to take that out, then you'll have to you'll get the LP token, and you'll just have to unpair it.
Unpair it, okay. All right.
But as far as going in, that makes it easy.
X-Vader says zap it, so that's the easy way for people to do. So you can just
Leave
take
it a
your
leaderboard. Up
like
at the top, it shows how much people have zapped in.
Right. Okay, we'll go have a look at that.
I always get into that game theory thing, and that was one of their big things. They were like, you want it to be competitive too, though. You know?
Yeah. So this says convert Pulse directly into EMIT and Pulse LP tokens and stake them in one transaction. Wow. So you're doing the whole process. So it goes to that Pulse will go and buy EMIT, I guess, off the market, and then it will put it into the LP pools on PulseX DEX, and then it will take those LP tokens and automatically stake it all in one go.
Yep.
Wow, that's great. All right, so and then you can stake it and unstake it, obviously, with the LP tokens. And then there's a claim button. So the claim is what you claiming your reward. Is that your EMIT?
And you want to just let's scroll through and look at all the partners, maybe check out.
Let's do that. So you've got the main Richard Cores in there.
Yeah, the first one, those are all the cores that I wanted to pair with EMIT because I thought it would make them stronger. So of course you got the RH pairs, classic.
Yeah.
And then I also paired some up with Bitcoin because I love Bitcoin.
They're all running about 150% APR at the moment, which is about 0.25% per day, or about 1.7%, let's say, per week, 8% per month recovery at the moment. Now they will move around, right? If more people that go in, things like that. What's some of the variables that move around the APR?
So on the farms, the variable is going to be the current price, because you figure it's rewarding EMIT. So your APR visualized is how much reward you're stretching over that TVL.
Okay.
Is basically how it works. Excuse me. So the variables that affect it are the current price of the reward token. If that goes up, APRs go higher. If that goes down, rewards are obviously worth less, so the APR comes down. The TVL is based on how much liquidity is in there. So if you had, if there's 30,000 in liquidity and the APR is 150, if that liquidity is doubled, the APR will be 75. So that's how those two are connected.
Okay, well, it's good for people to know as well. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
And you also got to keep in mind when you're pairing with an EMIT farm that the price of EMIT is going to also affect the TVL as that goes up and down. But I think that it's been a pretty strong asset, though, comparatively to past yield farms.
It has, yeah. So you got PulseX here as well. DiPulse, InkPulse. So a lot of people will be sitting with these tokens in their wallet. They can actually come and easily provide, if they're just sitting on them and not earning a yield, they can come in and, I guess, put it into some of these pools if it fits their risk return profile. You got Vouch. So Vouch is the biggest Pulse chain validator, as far as I understand.
That one's cool too, that VPLS/PLS. That's basically like single-sided staking.
Yeah, this is one.
You just got you just got the two paired together. And then what's that? 15% right now. That one usually stays pretty full. That one was up to it was 75K at one point. People
look at that. That's crazy. Yeah, look at that. And I mean, it's a 15% per year. Weekly, that's 0.25%, and that's just sitting there doing. I mean, you're crashing the bank there, and it's got a good amount in there too, 25K sitting in there. So pretty good.
This one's got an interesting one in it too. That's actually You get the INC/USDC, a stable farm right there at 20%. It's a fun little one. And then the print/sprint. That's also for fast stuff. That's like
Yeah.
his two paired together, which is
Yes.
almost like single-sided staking.
I mean, so you got Vouch, which is Jexa, right? Jexa's very well-known personality in the Pulse-Chain community. You've got so these are all top-tier protocols on Pulse-Chain. I have to reiterate that they really are the top-tier type of protocols. And now you've also got Ink Printer, which is a Liquidity fork from Fast Abdul, another extremely well-known personality in the Pulse-Chain. So you really got some great quality products offerings in here. Print and
When I
sprint.
set it up, what I did was that's why I gave each one a category, because it almost is like advertising for them too.
Yeah.
Like imagine you just get into yield farming on Pulse, and it's the first thing you get into.
Yeah.
This is going to be perfect. You go, oh, well, if Kairos like these projects or they collaborated enough to have them added, maybe I'll look at them.
Yeah. So really a lot of sort of blue chip projects in here. You got Pulse Bitcoin. There's an OG project around a kind of a digital Bitcoin. I know that Fat Sammy, another influence in the space, kind of leads a Pulse Bitcoin Council that runs these kind of things both on Ethereum and Pulse Chain. So you got good offerings here. I mean, the yields are all pretty good, APRs. You got Pump Tires itself. So you got Pump there. You got Top Hat. You got Peacock. You've got P-Head, Morbius.
I just turned up the Peacock/EMIT. I put that one up. That one's had a nice little boost to it. That one's what is that? 170. That's a good one. Keep pumping that thing. It's ripping.
That's pretty tasty. Yeah, 2% right now. We'll see how long that lasts because that's pretty popular.
Yeah, and each pool has different allocations, and that's one of the things you want to take into consideration is check the allocations, see how much of the supply it's actually getting. Depending on how much you're going to put in.
Yeah.
Like these ones, like the ones that don't have an EMIT pair, I got to turn them down. Not turn them down. Like I got to turn the allocations down.
Yes.
To keep
so there's
it
bit of management on your part with the allocations, keep them appropriate, kind of thing. So Hexvader here's got. Can you run through the allocation? I mean, there's a question right there. So you got this allocation. There's 15x. There's 2x. There's 4x. Is there a way of understanding that?
Mm-hmm. If you hover, it tells you the actual percentage, and basically what that is that just dictates how much that pool gets of the daily rewards.
Okay, so 0.3% in this case, yeah.
So
the Peacock's really high. I mean, 2.29, and you just did that, did you?
Yeah, it was already at 12, and I turned it up a bit.
Is that because Peacock is kind of hot, one of the hot projects?
Yeah, I thought it'd be a good one to support. But it's been one that I've noticed people have added to and removed from quite a few times. So I figured it was popular, and I saw someone had put in, and it pushed the APR down a bit. So yeah, that was just one that I added up a bit.
Yeah, nice. Okay. We got Crypto Paradise. We talked about them earlier. Probably your first big KOL partnership there, and they've got their Surf token.
And then the community tokens is just kind of different communities around Pulse Chain. So in this category, they're not all one project like in the other ones. Each one is an individual community.
So you got Tetra, which is an innovative DeFi protocol by Stu. You've got
some up there. Dark is
Dark from out there, been around for a while. Was that Cabal or somebody like that? I can't remember who's running Dark.
No, that's X-Ray Vision.
X-Ray Vision, okay, running Dark. Then you got Pulskin Store, which you've got great merch on. You got merch on the Pulse Chain store.
Yeah, those guys have been great. They've done a couple giveaways with like the shirt designs that we did. I think we gave around like 100 EMIT t-shirts away just for like shipping costs. So that's pretty cool.
So just take note that you actually at the top of the categories, you've actually got in some cases you've actually got links to the store, so you can actually link to that. It's got the Pulsecon store here.
Yeah, and I also have the merch link for. I should change that to
do
like.
have the merch link. Oh, we should look at that because I was gonna,
But if you go to the farm and go down to the footer, I got it in the footer.
we got a photo. Oh, we'll look at that next then. Yeah, I won't try and search for that. We'll look.
Oh, there's
that.
the EMIT did say EMIT up there.
Yeah, we did find it. Yeah, but we'll use the link to go to it. So you got Pulsecon store there with the PLSS token. He said, yeah, you've already dropped a couple $1,000 worth of PLSS through the Telegram bot, right?
Yeah. We've had a couple of good giveaways with them through the airdrop bot. So, users have got some of that token that's been airdropped over the last few months. Our True Farm / this one's interesting too because you can go and put in here and you're earning EMIT, and then you can go on the True Farm side and supply the same exact liquidity and be earning the True Farm. So you can grow that position without any outside capital outside of what you're earning. You
so
get
you're not using the same LP though because you lock it in here, right?
Well, it is the same LP. You just take say you had 1,000 of that EMIT / True Farm. You can put 500 in EMIT, 500 in True Farm, and then you're earning both sides. So when you claim their rewards, pair them together, and you don't have to even you got both sides of the LP to grow that position with. So you just split it between the two farms.
Yeah. All right. So True Farm there looking pretty nice too at 160%. You got Rhino, which is a favorite team of mine. They do pretty innovative there with their 28-day recharge treasury and buy and burn. You got that in there, looking pretty nice.
Yep.
You got Impulse, which I think is one of your older projects, is it?
Yeah, I started Impulse. It was like the first or second week of Pulse Chain. I launched it, and it's an auto compounder. And actually, at the height of it, we had like 500,000 in TVL from the PulseX farms when those were really popular.
Yeah.
So, and then it kind of slowed down when PulseX slowed down. And actually, just last week, I went back and I removed all the old farming protocols and just made it so that it just has EMIT, True Farm, and it still has the PulseX farms, but I cleaned it up and added some new vaults for some of these newer farms.
Okay.
And yeah, she's still running. She's still compounding 3 years strong.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so that's Impulse. We got so you've got what would normally be a competitor, and of course you don't look at it that way. You're into collabs and working with others for value. You got Function Island there, and of course the developer there is Donny D. And Function Island there has got their own a few farms. They got Island Yield and stuff, and you got pretty nice APRs on that too.
Yep.
They're smaller TVLs, but it's still looking pretty tidy there.
Yeah.
What else? We got Actuator. You tell us a little bit about the Actuator. I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked at them.
Yeah, it's it's a tough one to describe.
Yeah.
But they got yield farming for their token on there. And what is it? It's like time-based dividends for Hex.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's probably why they got their HTT.
Time-based derivatives, maybe. Yeah, because it's like they have 3 of those HTT 5,000. Yeah, there's 3 of those in total, and each one is. It's been a while. I heard about it in one of the mastermind groups. Like,
we'll have a little. So you're activating the full value of your Hex stakes. Okay. Yeah. It's been a while since I looked at it too. That's why. They launched the app there. We'll just have a quick look. We'll have a quick nosy while we're here. So that's the site there. So there we go. Some of you guys may already be in this. So yeah, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 555, 6,000. So they got quite a few from the looks of it. I don't know what they're all based on, but maybe time, obviously.
Yeah, it's something to do with the stakes and the time of them. And I can't remember how he described it, but
yeah. All right, very cool. That's cool. I like that. You got Hocus Pocus. So Hocus Pocus is NFTs, and they have they have a DeFi ranking site. Then they have all the yields across different farms and protocols. So that is Hocus Pocus. Do you deal with them much at the moment? Like, you're dealing much with them?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, the NFT marketplace. What is that? Pulsemarket.io? Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Hocus Pocus. We'll have a quick look at them too while we're here. So Hocus Pocus Finance, but they got Farms, Pulse Market, and the Hock app there. People can check that out. Now you got the Grays currency, obviously pretty big community and popular. The first DAO on Pulse Chain, and you got them as well. So, how
Yep.
did you coordinate this with them, or is this
No,
something you
that
set
one
up?
was actually requested by users
Oh, okay,
quite a bit. And
yeah,
yeah, I had reached out, but nothing really came of it. So I was like, well, I mean, it can't hurt to have the farms if the users want them. So.
yeah. So that's been doing pretty popular. That you got the Vic Foundation, which is for the vets.
Yeah, originally he did the. It was actually Vets was one of the first tokens when I first came on Pulse Chain. Like I said, it was right at the start of it, and I can remember like the tokens that people were talking about. One of them was called like Texan.
Mhm.
One of them was called like there was just a few that were rotating around, and that was one of them. But this hero one is one that he's launched since I think in the last 6 months.
Yeah,
It's been and yeah, he's got like a charity based around it and stuff. So pretty cool.
yeah. XVAT is saying Actuator allows users to mint fully backed tokens against the X stakes to unlock efficiency and flexible liquidity. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, right. We've got Fast Abdul in the house there from Ink Printer. I'm here for the tech. Indeed. And of course, Vault 369 is coming out soon. It's on community test. So that could be another one potentially coming on to EMIT Farms. All right, so we got no permissions from Randy Alaski, one of the big influencers in the Pulse chain. So you got all those tokens there, including some Firewall stuff with SolidX and full of SolidX in there.
Yep,
Um,
that's Red Rays token. That one's
yeah.
probably my favorite in there.
So another competing or another alternative farm is Vox. So what do we had? We had Function
Yeah,
on. Now we got Vox
the
in there as
Vox one
well.
got down there. Ben wanted to keep it though, so I've left it on there for him. You can see it's turned way down.
Yeah, I
Um,
see that. Yeah,
that one will
and
probably go at some point.
yeah, then you got Piples.
Yep,
Piples
stake
there.
balls.
Then you got Nexium, which is another alternative farm slash DeFi. Got leverage as well with Nexium. That's there as well. So those are all the ones there. So pretty awesome. Lots of top tier project goals and pretty attractive. Damn, really good yields on them. So pretty awesome stuff. We were going to quickly look at the Mitch store before we look at the DAO. I thought we'd look at the DAO and the NFTs and the factory. We're going to look at the factory as well. Just keeping track of time here. But let's click on the quick links at the bottom. You got merch at the bottom. So let's have a quick look at that. And Polskin Store Collections EMIT. And so you got that T-shirt you're wearing right now, right? Is this one here, $37 Australian apparently. EMIT on Pulse Chain.
Yeah, they came out good.
Yeah. And you got other stuff. You got the caps as well. Got the mugs.
I do have that coffee mug too.
Yeah, I like this. This one here. It stands out quite a bit. That's cap. A little sneak preview there. Very cool. All right, let's jump. Oh, what happened now? I lost the whole website. Let me pull that back up. So you got the DAO. DAO's pretty important, right? It's been took a little while to kind of establish, but it's up and running and been working pretty well.
Yeah, and basically, kind of like I said from the start, the DAO was basically a way. Originally, it was going to be so people could request farms, and then we actually had some people that suggested things that weren't related to the farms, and I said, okay, well, we'll use it to I can get general consensus. But then when it comes down to like protocol decisions, I'll make the call. But pretty much everything that anyone's requested or any of that I've put up have gone well, and yeah, it's just a way that I can have the community say their part in what I'm thinking, basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Now this token's called VEMIT. Where does that come from? The vote emit? Is that just?
Yeah, so when you single-sided stake EMIT in a single-sided pool,
Mhm.
it mints you VEMIT.
Okay.
And then you can see, and we also have a treasury. So up at the top, you can see that the treasury grows. The treasury has a single-sided position, so that's where that comes from.
Right.
Um, and then the proposal threshold there. So that's how many EMIT you have to have staked to create a proposal.
Okay. So you have a decent amount sitting in there at the moment. Now you've got. I said there's a active proposal there at the moment, 54. It's called creating strategic activity fund of 10,000 EMIT, which could be utilised to maintain 100% APR single-sided times of low activity. So at the moment, looks like it's pretty favourable, 12,500 EMIT votes versus 5,200 against.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of them are based on, oh well, yeah, you can see all the ones that we've done. Some of them were emission related, a lot of them were farming related, and we've had some other requests. One of them was turn the proposal required up to 1.5,
Mm-hmm.
which I was adamant against, but the guys voted for it, so I did it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's nice to have. Then and it gives people a way that they can participate and vote for what they want to. Which
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it becomes when becomes the voting sits. That's what the DAO does, right? It
Mhm.
the founder may not always necessarily like something, but it's the community's in favour. So there we go. They got the voting power. We got Derek from Rhinify in the house. Hey, good to see you, Derek. Big shout out. Chat them. Now, the other one, so we'll talk about the DAO, we'll talk about the farms. We're going to quickly look at the NFTs, and then I think we go to the factory. So you got the NFT mints, and they're getting there, like say, 480 now out of 555. So there's only, what's that, 75 to go. It's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting pretty well near minted out. So
Mm,
and it's needed to vote in the DAO.
right.
So I think well, there's still some for users, but I think there could be a secondary market as well if it does
Well,
reach that point where it's
all
minted
sorts
out.
of things can flow from the NFT in the future, can't they? I mean, especially once they're sold out, they become intrinsically more valuable, I would argue. So it's
Mm.
getting close, and everyone has a different picture, right? Everyone has a different picture.
Yeah, they're or not auto generated, but what's that word I'm looking for? Yeah, they were generated, so they all have different traits.
They have different
That's
traits, so yeah, and that
right.
rarity
So,
could become more important in the future too, I guess, as well.
yeah,
Um,
some of them
now,
have a samurai sword.
yeah. Well, I do own some.
That one
Just
does
to
right
confess,
there.
I do own some of those NFTs. So I actually got some good pictures. I think I got some good ones. But anyway, enough about that. We got the factory, which is a new thing, right? Farm factory is new.
Yeah, well, actually, I did this the first version of it like a month
Hmm.
ago, and then after I did it and had it put together and was playing around with it, I was like, this actually needs to be simplified some. So this is the second version of it, and I think I got it. It basically what it boils down to is if you're a founder of a project and you want to have a farm,
Yep.
now you can come here, you put in which token you want your farm to stake, which can be LP or single sided. You say
Hmm.
what reward you want to give it, which would either be your token or a different one,
Yeah.
and
This
then
one.
set the deposit and the
Hmm.
withdrawal fee to how it only up to 9. I didn't let people set it higher than 9,
Hmm.
and it shows it displayed for the deposit and withdrawal fee. But then they create it. Now, once you create a farm, it transfers the contract to you, so you actually own the contract and it creates you a UI that shows that farm. If you go to browse
Oh.
all farms,
Oh. Okay. Cool. So you got the farms. Yeah.
or no, go back
Oh,
to
sorry.
factory,
Back to
and at
that.
the
And
top of the factory, click on
the button.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
little
Yeah. I
button up
saw
there,
that just too late after I clicked. Yeah.
and then you
Um,
can actually if you're gonna it's a responsive table, so usually you got to scroll to the right.
yeah.
So,
There we go. So we've got two have been set up so far.
so if you
Uh,
scroll to the right of that in that box, and then you can click view on that top one.
mhm.
And this is the UI that you get, which basically it gives you that URL at slash your contract that you own, and then you have your own personal UI, which is just your farm that you created. So it's kind of like a service, but it's also kind of cool because now EMIT users can see, oh, which founders are putting together incentives for their users. Maybe that's something I want to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that one just started today, and then that one's just a little thing.
So just that. So this is for is it for new farms or existing farms? They're offering an additional reward for. I mean,
So this is for you can create any farm you want for your
mhm.
token for any tokens, and
Yeah,
but you provide the reward. So this doesn't have EMIT rewards for that
yeah,
one right there. That's reward in EDI.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So each one is it has to provide their own rewards. Basically, this is like a service for founders that want to have a farm, and you can set up a farm. You get the contracts in your address. You know what I mean? You own the contract, and then you get this personalized UI for that particular farm. And when you're connected, it'll show you. It shows an actual farm in there too.
Okay, cool. All right, I get that. Now, is there was there a launch fee for that? Is that how does it feed Emmett a little bit or
Yeah, it's 5 million PLS.
5 million
That some
narratives?
of that gets channeled into the single-sided rewards. So that's
Mm.
actually topping up the single-sided rewards for people that are single-side staked, and then a portion of it goes to me.
Yeah, cool. All right, really, that's awesome, man. That's really great. And let's say that's just been launched. So if you're a team out there, it's an opportunity for you to put your token in there and offer some rewards.
And it's
Um,
great for events. So on that thing, I set it so that you set the duration. So
yeah,
say you're doing a collaboration with one of your partners and you want to do it for 1 week, you set the farm to just run for 1 week, put, however much it is, $500 in rewards, and it's just going to run for that week. It's perfect for events.
yeah.
I think the council page is good too. That's
All
a
right,
cool
let's jump
community.
onto that council there.
Oh,
Join
well,
the
yeah. It basically what it is when you're connected, it pops up and says if you have 1,000 EMIT, it lets you into the council room, which
okay.
is just a lot of the early holders and stuff in there hanging out.
Okay, cool. And then you got a leaderboard as well, and it's a Zap leaderboard. Who's zapping in? So if you do
Mm,
zap in, you might make it to the leaderboard. I guess you will be
yeah,
on the leaderboard somewhere.
it's got to look up the event, so sometimes it loads a little slow,
A
but
little
it does.
slow.
It does. Yeah, not too slow. Just
Mm.
a second. It's just going through the last blocks.
Now you got a few extra things that you got the swap page that we haven't looked at. So you got that.
Yeah.
You can swap tokens.
And
You've got
that's just the aggregator SwitchX. And what I did that for is because I got playing around over there, and I
yeah.
saw that they automatically do the taxes. So
Mm,
it sets it to what you need, and
yeah.
the user doesn't even have to do anything really. It just says, "Oh, this is EMIT at 5.5."
Yeah, that's
Um,
neat. Yeah.
so.
That's switched from Brandon. He put that together, so that's cool. And then you got a blog as well. So it's kind of cool. You're giving updates about different topics. Last one was the farm factory.
Yep.
And then I think that's pretty much it on this website, and then FAQ as well. So people can got any more questions, specific questions. There's a lot of answers on there around different topics. Pretty awesome. Let's quickly look at the chart. How we're doing for time? We're doing pretty well. So 58 minutes on the hour. So let's have a quick look at the end of the chart. I'll post a link to this in the chat there as well.
That's beautiful.
And so that's the Emmett farm there. That's the weekly chart. So it's looking pretty good. I mean, we're at $1.15 on the chart. It's been ranging between, I guess, where we are now, about $1.09 all the way through to about $2. And then we'll have a look at the pulse chart, pulse side of it. And that's looking really good. So what are we at there? Been as high as 180,000 pulse, I should say, per EMIT, and now we're at 112,000 pulse per EMIT at the moment. So looking pretty good. Market cap $275,000. And if we look at the market cap and go to the US dollars, we've had some pretty decent numbers there. 481,000. It did hit $500,000 back in December, end of December. It's been there up there around that range twice. So it's sitting, pretty nicely in the middle right now at 275. If you guys want to check out the old EMIT farm, pick up some EMIT to go on farming. That is the contract there. Remember to always do your own checks and all that sort of good stuff. But that is the EMIT farm. Anything else to say about the EMIT token?
What's that?
Have you got anything else to say about the EMIT token at all?
No, I'm pretty happy with how it's gone so far. I mean, I think what it is now that we've shown, you can see the two kind of pumps or strength points that it's had. It's recovered multiple times, and I think that's going to set the support higher.
Yeah,
because people see that, this isn't like the yield farm where it just prints into oblivion and you can't pump it after a while. It's recovered twice, so it's likely it can do it and continue to.
So a couple of things about this chart, you would say we obviously have two strong points. Obviously, we've had some big collaborations there, Crypto Paradise, True DeFi. You got many of the top blue chip projects in the farm, which is offering high APRs, which is pretty attractive. But the other things you've got is you're doing much burning. Like, is there much token burning? You obviously got quite a bit burned so far.
There's 1% for every transaction. So for every 100,000 in volume that we have, 1,000 EMIT is burned.
Right, awesome. So you got that going on. You've got the treasury got some gets rewarded as well, so it builds up the treasury. So you really thought about lots of different components to strengthen the whole ecosystem. It's kind of what I'm getting at, which is pretty neat. So you got that going on, and the DAO's working pretty well there as well. Someone's looking at trying to incentivize the APRs there. So pretty cool. So check out EMIT. That's what you're going to need to participate on the old EMIT farm. And if you've got more questions, you definitely get into the Telegram group. Kairos is there every day, aren't you, Kairos?
I usually am, yeah. And if you're coming from the stream, make sure to let me know if you're not on the airdrop bot because I can add you to it.
Definitely join the airdrop bot and check out the farming. It really is, the leading farm on Pulse Chain, I think, without a doubt. And you're continuing to innovate, continuing to add top tier projects as we just went through. There really are a lot of the blue chip projects sitting in there for APR. So definitely something worth checking out for those that are after that sort of DeFi income. Looking pretty good there. And there's quite a few strategies, like you say, you can do. You can do 50-50 into EDI and the Pulse EMIT and compound that. There's lots of different things you can do with the old farm there. Awesome stuff. Right. I've really enjoyed that coverage of EMIT Farm, Kairos. It was really great. Hope everyone else does as well. That's the link, of course, EMIT Farm, emit.farm/farms to get into the farm, and you can zap straight into it. And if you've got any questions, there's a FAQ. Watch this video again, and also jump into the Telegram group. Get yourself on the airdrop bot. There's lots of good stuff there. Hey, Emmett, Kairos, it's been a pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it too, and we'll hope to get you on again soon to cover more cool stuff that you guys are doing.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me up.
Awesome stuff. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Hit the bell. And we'll bring you another great show tomorrow as well. Take care, everybody, and bye for now. Thanks, Kairos, once again, and we'll catch you soon.